Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. My name is Lucas and today we will be doing a review for Fifine. Now this is for the Fifine M9 and that's their latest wireless lavalier microphone. So we'll be doing a quick review on this, but before we do, I'd like to talk to you about Fifine and how they started to where they are now. Right then guys, before I tell you anything, I'd like to make a disclaimer to state yes, Fifine did send me this for free to review and to unbox, but as you guys already know that I'm very picky and critical on everything that I do, and this I'll be no different on, just so that you guys know. Now let's move on and tell you a little bit about Fifine themselves. Now Fifine actually started off in 2015, so they've got about 10 years under their belts. Now the first microphone that they actually sold was the KO28, I think, but they made it more successfully when they actually made the K668. Now as you guys already know, or most of you guys will know, Fifine are more known for the condenser microphones and the dynamic microphones. So the M9 is their second attempt in a wireless lavalier microphone world, if you wish. They did actually start off by making the M8. Now that came very popular in America, and I think out of 5 stars, I think they were something like, they were getting a star markage of 4.7, 4.8, which is quite remarkable. So I'm kind of expecting these to be a lot better. So, as I said, what we do is we jump in the box, we'll see what's in the box, and then we do the review after. Right then, let's crack open the box and see what we've got inside. Now, you are firstly presented with a actually, it's a very good case. So, thumbs up to Fifine for actually putting a decent case that you could actually use for once. Now, inside the case, let's start off with, you are presented with a Fifine M9 user guide. And then you have your bag of cables. So let's see what cables you actually get in the bag. So the first cable that I've pulled out is for your phone, which is a TRRS to a TRS cable, and as you can see they are gold plated. Now the next cable that I will pull out is your camera cable, which is a TRS to a TRS, which are also gold plated. So I'm kind of expecting decent quality sound from these microphones, because when things are gold plated they normally produce a much better sound. Now the next cable, you have your TRS to your USB type C. Now this you'll use for your phone. So with most phones nowadays they're USB type C, so this side will go into there and this side will go into your transmitter. No, not transmitter, receiver. Let's get that right. So let's move along, and then you have your charging cable. So this will charge up the box itself, and that's a USB type C to a US type A. Now what you also get in the box is 2 win muffs. So we will attach these guys on and see how they fit and see if they're any good. And then you are presented with the microphones themselves, or the charging case first, should I say. Now, the actual build quality on the charging case is okay. It's a little bit plasticky, and it would have been nice if they put some soft touch plastic on it. But, you know, it is what it is at the end of the day. Now, let's move on to these guys here. Right then, let's quickly take a look round the receiver itself. Now, straight off the bat, you have got a pre-printed screen, so it's not OLED or LED or even LCD screen, it's just a pre-printed screen, which isn't a bad thing, simply because this will be a battery saver in itself, and I think it's quite a good idea. Very low cost and very effective at the same time. Now on the side, you have your power button. You also have your A and B, which raises or lowers the decibel or volume if you wish, which are these guys here. So on volume 1, it'll be quite quiet. The second one will raise the volume a little bit more. And the third one, you'll probably peak out. I always advise to have it on the middle one if you have to have it anywhere at all. Now on the other side, you have your mono and stereo button, which will activate this up here. So there we go. So you can tell whether that's on or off. Now, where was I? You also have your out. So when you connect it to your phone, obviously this guy here goes into there, and then your USB Type-C will go into your mobile phone. Now you also have a pairing button, which you also get on this guy here as well. So if at any time you do lose signal and you need to pair these up, it's quite quick and simple. I think you hold this one down for 3 to 5 seconds, and the same goes for this one here. Now let's carry on with this. Now you have 2 charging points, which as you can see, I don't know if you can see it in that case, you should see 2 gold little tubs down there. That is to connect to charge to this. Now if at any point in time that your battery case does fail, you can also charge it by USB Type-C. Now let's move along and go to the actual transmitters themselves. Now on top, you'll have your microphone, you have your indicator lights there. On the side, you'll have your power button, and on the other side, it's like I just said, you'll have your link button for your receiver. And also you'll have your noise cancellation button here. Now, you've got your indicator light there, so you know if it's on or off. Now, on the bottom, it's the same story as with the receiver. You have your 2 charging ports, which are inside that case there. I don't know if you can see because my lighting's not that brilliant today, but you also have a USB Type-C just in case if the charging pack fails at all. Now, on the back, you have a very, very sturdy clip to clip onto your clothes, so that's good news. Now, when it comes to the actual build quality itself, the same with the charging case, it's not bad, but it's not brilliant either. They have used not very cheap plastic, but it's not of the high quality plastic. Now, it's a shame really, because I would have liked to have a soft touch, almost skin on it if you wish. So it's soft touch. The same with the actual case itself, but it doesn't, so it is what it is. But altogether, I think that these should sound pretty good. So anyhow, let's move on to the main test, and I can finally come away from using my microphone speaker to actually using the microphones with these guys here. So let's crack on with that and see what it sounds like. Right then guys, now you are hearing me through the Fifine M9. Now this is this guy here. Now there's just one thing, let me just clip it here where it should be. Now there's just one thing that I have to let you guys know, which Fifine will probably not like me for saying, but this is a truthful channel after all, and they know that. I've actually told Fifine that I would do this review in my own words. Now, to all of you boys and girls out there that go to use this cable here, which is the USB-C to the TRS that you get in the box, chuck it in the bin. This has just wasted me about 30 hours worth of content, because I do enough content so I could pick and choose as I wish. This has lost me 30 hours. Now what you are hearing at the moment is a USB to USB, which is obviously USB to the phone, to USB to the receiver. Now, just disregard this cable. Now, I've actually tried this cable on other microphones and it's done the same. Now, in all fairness to Fifine, it's not just this cable, it's all cables that are like this. Now, I've got about 4 or 5 of them, which I've never really used. I've just tested all of them and the results are exactly the same. Now, I will show you what this actually sounds like while you use this cable. Right then, now what you are hearing is the USB-C to TRS jack that Fifine have provided within the package. Now, don't get me wrong, this isn't just a Fifine's fault. Now, I've got about 6 or 7 of these cables, and every single cable produced the same sort of noisy background. And it's not just with the Fifine M9, it's also with my cheapest to my very expensive microphones, wireless Livia microphone systems. So quite clearly it's fault with these sorts of cables. So if you've got any of these cables in your home, chuck them in the bin, they're junk. But this is the sort of sound quality that you can expect from USB-C to TRS. Now let's move back to something a little bit more professional sounding. Right then, now we're back onto the USB Type-C to USB Type-C cable. Now, thankfully the audio will sound a lot cleaner. Now, there will be a part 2 video coming out for the Fifine M9. And that's how to rig up something that makes it even sound better than what you're hearing now. Now, I'm obviously not going to tell you what, because you're going to have to watch the video. And as simple as, now I will also be including how to make these magnetic, so you'll be able to attach them anywhere on your body. So part 2 video will be coming out with this. Now let's crack on with the review. Now I've resolved the issue with this absolutely junk cable. Now, honest to God, do not use this. You will cry, because the sound quality is actually worse than what the sound quality of your phone is. Believe me. Once again, it's not Fifine's fault. It's the cable's fault. And once again, I've got loads of these and they've all just gone in the bin. And this one here, it's gone in the bin as well. It's a terrible cable. So anyway, let's crack on with the review. Now we've got better quality sound. Right then, let's start off with the amount of errors that you've got in the charge case. Now, once again, it's a USB Type-C for charging. And it's pretty good, if I'm honest. It's very lightweight, even with the microphones within the case. And it's quite a nice snapshot. Nothing's going to fall out of them. And in all fairness to Fifine, it's pretty good. Now, the only trouble with this guy here is that if you have your wind muff on, this is why I've left the wind muff on this. When you try to close the case, which is a little bit, not poor, but it's a little bit sad really, because I would have liked to have the wind muff left on at least one microphone, just in case if I'm outside and it's getting pretty windy, like it is today. At least then I could just pull the other microphone out if I'm soloing, doing a solo video, and I could just carry on. But anyway, that is with the case. Now, the other thing with the case, this will give you 30 hours worth of charge. Now, when I say 30 hours, I mean you have to, it's probably about 10 hours each microphone. So in total, you're probably getting 2 charges on this guy here and on the receiver, and obviously with that guy there as well. So you're getting 2 charges out of all of them, which isn't too bad considering the size. It's very, very, very pocketable. Like, these shirt pockets are very, very, very small, and it does slip into that pocket quite easily. And to be fair, it's very, very lightweight. So I'm quite pleased with that. Now, when it comes to the receiver, you can expect, we got 7.5 hours to 8 hours while using the receiver. Now, slightly less with the microphones themselves. We were getting 6 hours to 20 minutes, I think, per microphone, which is still a lot better to what Fifine have actually advertised. And you can quite clearly see on the box, which is just there, 5 to 6 hours, and they lasted, I would say, about 20 minutes more. And that was constant use. That wasn't turning them off. That was constant use because, once again, I was doing this for the review. Now, let's move on to when you use the USB to USB. Now, if you have an iPhone, you're going to need to pick yourselves up one of these guys here. Okay? It's a USB Type-C to Lightning. So you will need to purchase this separately. Now, they go for around in between £3 to £5, which is pence really. So, you know, if I had an iPhone 11, 12, 13 or 14, just put yourself at one of them and they will work perfectly. Once again, please do not use the USB Type-C to TRS cable that you have in the box. Throw it in the bin immediately because it's terrible. It's honestly terrible. So, now, let's look at noise cancellation. Now, I've kind of been dreading this because I've had no success with this at all. Now, since I'm using USB-C to USB-C, this might sound a little bit different, but we'll find out. So let's fire on the noise cancellation on the microphone, which is that button there. So, click it on. As you can see, little light there. Now, what does this actually sound like? Does it sound good? Does it sound bad? Because I can guarantee you, no noise cancellation within one of these microphones has ever been any good. There's only one system that I could call very, very good, and that's my Shure Move mics. I've actually had the noise cancelling feature on them turn on, and they were incredible. But you are looking at £500 for that, so that's probably out of your budget range, especially if you're watching this video. So let's have a quick playback and see what this sounds like. Now, in all honesty, it wasn't as bad as what I was expecting. Now, if you rewind back to when I had or tested out the USB Type-C to TRS cable, it sounded very similar as in audio quality, which makes me wonder whether the USB Type-C to TRS cable was somehow knocking on the noise cancellation feature within the receiver. I don't know, you tell me if that is possible, but it sounded very similar to that cable, or how that cable made this system sound. But anyhow, we're back on this, and noise cancellation is definitely off. Definitely off. But it's like I said, I shall be doing a part 2. with the Fifine M9. It's been a long day thanks to that cable. So I will be doing a part 2 of the Fifine M9 as in regards to how you get much better audio quality, even better than what you're hearing now. So like and subscribe down here or down here, whichever way I've put it. I've put it down there somewhere. Whack that on so you won't miss that one, because it will be a good one. And it's like I said, I will also be showing you how to make these so you can attach a magnet onto them. And hey presto, you'll be a very happy person, because I miss my magnetic microphones. So, anyhow, let's move on to 2 other videos now. Now, the videos that have been produced was the iPhone 15 and also the Google Pixel 8 Pro. Now, sadly, I had to borrow these phones back from my son-in-law and my daughter, because I have so many phones here. I give my phones away, and I happen to give them my phones. So I had to borrow them back, but it's like I said, sadly, I actually used the USB Type-C to TRS cable on them phones as well. So anyway, let's watch that video back, and then we will come to some sort of conclusion to what I think of this microphone system in real time. Right then guys, now we're using the Fifine M9 with the Google Pixel 8 Pro. Now, just before you use this device with any Google Pixel phones, you have to dive into the settings, or the camera settings should I say. You need to change phone microphone to wired microphone. Now, you must remember that, otherwise you'll just be using your camera mics. And it sounds pretty bad if I'm perfectly honest. So testing 1 2 3 1 2 3 4. I do a quick tap test. How does this sound? Now, the cabling that I'm using on this is the 3.5 to the USB-C, which you can find in the box. So this should come out pretty decent if I'm honest. So testing 1 2 3 1 2 3 4. Let me know in the comments what you think it's like with the Google Pixel 8 Pro. Right then, this is a quick video test using the Fifine mic. That's the M9 mic. Now, this is being used on the iPhone 15 Pro, and the cabling that I'm actually using is the jack to USB-C that is in the box. So let's do a quick tap test just to make sure that is working. So once again, the Fifine M9 on the iPhone 15 Pro. Right then guys, you've just watched that video with the iPhone 15 Pro and also the Google Pixel 8 Pro. Now you can tell how bad that one cable was that I've just told you to throw in the bin. Which was the USB Type-C to the TRS jack. Sadly, I can't recreate them videos because those 2 phones I actually gave to my son-in-law and my daughter. And they're actually away on holiday at the minute, so I can't even do a retest on them while using USB to USB. So, once again, you can see how bad that cable was. Now, a word of advice. If you have an Oppo phone, a Huawei phone, a Redmi or an Honor phone, or any phones like that, to use any wireless lithium microphone system, and it doesn't have to be just the Fifine M9, it could be a DJI, it could be any of them. You have to turn on the OTG within your settings. Now, just Google how to turn on the OTG, and for your device, it would tell you exactly how to turn it on. It'd be in some form of menu in the system anyway. Now, failing that, if you cannot find the OTG or your phone hasn't got OTG, then what you'll have to do is download a camera app. Now, the camera apps are widely available on Apple Play Store and Google Play Store. I think it's Apple Play Store. I'm not very familiar with Apple phones. I don't like Apple phones, if I'm perfectly honest. I'm just a Samsung man myself. But anyhow, on one of the stores that you can download stuff, I would put, not links, I put a picture up there, or down there, or across there, just to give you guys some idea of what I mean. But anyhow, let's move on to the distance test. Right then, when it comes to the distance test, I was unable to do it today, even though today was my recording day. Simply, the rain out there today was horrendous and it was very, very windy. So there's no way I'm taking any of my equipment out there to get absolutely downpoured on and to wreck. But I will be doing a distance test on part 2. Now, part 2, once again, just to remind you guys, it will be all about how to make this microphone system or wireless Livia microphone system by Fifine sound a lot more professional than what you're actually hearing now. Also, in how to connect or how to rig up something that you can use a magnet with these guys, so you can clip it anywhere on your body without the fear of it falling off. But anyhow, let's move on to what I actually think about the Fifine M9 wireless Livia microphones themselves. Right then, this is my verdict up to this point. Now, my verdict is that yes, for what you are paying for the Fifine M9, which is at the moment £72.99 on Amazon, we'll be putting links within my description of where you can buy these. I think it's quite a fair deal, considering also that this is Fifine's second attempt in making a wireless Livia microphone setup. I think they've done it pretty well with a pretty decent price. Now, the only thing that Fifine really has to do, because I think it's going to kill their business when it comes to the wireless Livia microphone market, and that's that one cable, which is the USB Type-C to TRS jack. Fifine really do need to take that out of the box, get rid of that cable and put literally a USB to a USB cable in, which is USB Type-C to a USB Type-C cable, should I say. Fifine, just bung one of them in, you have a lot more customers that are happy, because I have noticed that on some reviews that I've actually read and watched, a lot of people have gone on about the audio reproduction, and it's all down to the USB Type-C to the TRS jack cable. Now, why nobody else has pointed this out, I don't know. Quite clearly, there's a lot of reviewers out there that have not done their homework. Now, regarding that, the other thing that I don't really like about this system here, and it's nothing about the quality or even how it sounds, the one thing that it kind of bugs me in a way, and that's this logo here. It just reminds me of the Amazon logo, if I'm perfectly honest. Now, maybe Fifine's marketing strategy thinks that because it sells on Amazon that they put something very similar. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, Fifine, just put Fifine down there or down the side there. It would look a lot more professional. But apart from that, I think we've got a tidy little system. And once again, for Fifine's second attempt, shall I say, they've done pretty well, but they have screwed up with that one cable. And I will say it again, which is the USB Type-C to TRS jack. Fine, please get rid of it. But anyhow, part 2 will be coming out within the next few days to a week. So please subscribe. I am going to get some new lighting as well, because these lighting, we've been having so much wind today that my electric keeps on failing, and these things keep on going off. I've actually popped 2 bulbs, which I've had to replace to continue doing this. So I'm getting some decent lighting. So my next video will be a lot better than this one, I can promise you. As you can hear, I'm quite stressed out. I'm quite stumbling with my words, and it's not very professional, but it's the way I am because of what's happening today with the wind outside, the rain outside, the electric going off. So until then, I'm going to love you and leave you, and I hope to see you on part 2. And I will be bringing out other video reviews on more fine products, which will be the condenser microphones, along with a few other bits as well. So until then, I will catch you then. Love you all. Bye.